from EcoVeganGal.com, and this video is to give you some inspiration, especially for those of you who want to become vegetarian or vegan and are nervous about the kind of stigmas and lack of support around you, and just feel like this is a really big radical change based on your family, your friends, or just society in general, and are looking for some sort of validation in it. And I can provide many examples. It's a huge part of what Eco-Vegan Gal is, but I think this example is a really good personal example that I can share with you. So it comes back to something that just happened to me, but let me bring it back way long ago. What was it? About 9 years ago now, when I decided to go vegetarian. I was entering my junior year of college in Boston, and I was moving in. I'd been a vegetarian for a few months over the summer before my junior year, and I was moving into an apartment with somebody I had been in college with, and he had known me for several years and had seen me eat meat many times. So to him, it was kind of like a shock when, we became roommates and suddenly I was like living this type of lifestyle. He used to make fun of me for it all the time. And I remember one of the few things I remember about that transition to veganism was him making fun of me. And he said, I'll never forget this. He said, well, next thing you know, you're going to be vegan. And I hadn't even considered it. I don't know if it was those words or what, but something around that made me feel curious about it and maybe kind of want to give it a try. I don't know if it was like a rebellious thing or what, but somewhere around that fall, right, shortly after we had moved into this apartment, I decided to try veganism, and the rest is history. And he used to make fun of me all the time, but I would come home so excited. I would go to the grocery store and find all these vegan things. I remember when I first made vegan pancakes and vegan French toast, vegan donuts, falafels. I would make all this stuff in the kitchen and burn things, and he would just watch it all and laugh. But that was like the beginning of my veganism and also my beginning of my excitement over vegan food. And we since lost touch. We had kind of had a falling out, as roommates often do, and years went by. And last fall, I got an email from him, and I want to pull this up, read it to you. It started off with, "Hey Whitney, I guess you were right years ago about eating vegan. Several weeks ago, my brother watched Forks Over Knives. He has been a vegan ever since. I have been eating healthier and healthier over the past 6 months." He goes on to explain some of the things in his diet and then says, "I eat meat only twice a month now, !" I still eat cheese and eggs. I do not want to eat vegan, but I've made some huge changes and have cut most animal products. So this is one of the first messages I'd heard from him in years and years, and of course that was very exciting. And because I had worked on Forks Over Knives and been so passionate about that movie as well, again, that was exciting for me. And we chatted back and forth and then didn't really hear much. And then later on, earlier this year, he asked me a few more questions about supplements, still calling himself a semi-vegetarian and all of that. And then continued on to say that Forks Over Knives turned him away from meat. And then he started watching Food Inc. And he started feeling bad for the animals and started to really get more conscious about it. So the point is there that that impact, that craziness I had seemed at that time, slowly started to diminish. And then when he had kind of more outside perspective from these films, he was able to reconsider some things. And then to top it all off, very recently, about a month ago actually, he wrote me and said that his brother wrote something and sent it in to the people at Forks Over Knives, and they're using it in some new publication. And I didn't know what it was. They didn't really know what it was either. I guess they just told him that it was going to be in here. And then he wrote something about, I'll just read this to you. "I often think about when we lived together. You were developing and thinking about your beliefs in a lot of things. I was very mature about some things and very immature about others. In the past 2 years, I've become a lot wiser." So he was slowly starting to accept this impact. And then a few weeks ago, he messaged me and said that the book was in this publication. Well, I kind of forgot about about these emails, even though they were really wonderful to hear, until I opened this up today. And on the very first page, literally the first page, there's a quote from his brother in here talking about how he had started the plant-based diet and lost 25 pounds and on and on and on. I know that this plant-based lifestyle works. I'm careful not to call this a diet. A diet ends. This is how I live now. And I can't take credit necessarily for his brother, watching the movie and all that, because I hadn't even known his brother. And I'm not trying to take credit for anything. My point here is that something I was doing 9 years ago, developing this persona from someone that thought I was so crazy, made an impact on him years and years later. So the ultimate point of this example is that you never know how you're going to impact people around you. And this is true with anything. But just use that as a reference point to know that something that might seem crazy to other people now might not seem that crazy years later. Hopefully it won't take 9 years. But that if somebody is kind of rejecting your beliefs and the things that you're developing and the things that you're starting to believe to add into your life, it might be more of a projection on them than it is on you. This is more of a big psychological thing, but it's especially important with veganism. There's so much stigma around veganism. There's so much negativity. There's confusion. It's frustration. There's politics. But in the end, it comes down to you deciding what's best for you and not worrying about what your friends and your family are saying. And even if they're teasing you, you have to kind of push that aside and have faith in what you're doing. And maybe you'll be lucky and years down the line, people will start to evolve. And I've had countless examples of this, but this one's pretty cool to see somebody that I somehow know appear in a book whose influence, who knows, maybe his brother inspired him. Maybe his brother said, let's watch this crazy vegan movie. I had a vegan roommate way back in college. Let's see what this is all about. I don't know. So I hope that helps you to some extent. And I would love to hear some of your own personal stories. And I'll continue sharing mine in my videos because I've luckily had the fortune of having a bunch. And it's an amazing feeling. It makes me feel like I'm making a difference within myself that's a big positive change, and it makes me feel like I'm inspiring other people. And those coupled together makes this whole lifestyle start to feel good. All right, so looking forward to your feedback. Thanks so much as always for watching. Stay tuned, lots of videos coming up. I've been planning a ton of content, and I cannot wait for the time to really make it happen for you and help inspire you and educate you and connect with you more. So looking forward to your comments. If you have questions, please click the link down below in the description. You can fill out a little form and I will get to it as soon as possible. You can visit ecovegangal.com for more information. In the meantime, you can check out the Q&A section, past videos, lots of content on there. Follow me on all the social media networks where I'm constantly chattering away about things that I'm learning, sharing things, having conversations. Great time. If you like this video, speaking of thumbs up, click the thumbs up button down below here, and you can also subscribe to be the first to know when I have more videos like this. Thanks so much as always, and I will see you soon.